In this guide, I'll inform you about all the features available on the Arosi Nova series of monitors. This guide has been divided into 4 sections. Let's start with section 1, Buttons. You'll find all buttons at the bottom right of the monitor, indicated by the symbols on the front. If your monitor doesn't have the buttons below, like on the 49-inch, you'll find 2 buttons on the back, one for power and one joystick that controls the rest of the functions. Note that the left and right is inverted on the joystick to make it easier to use while looking at the monitor from the front. Next, let's take a look at the inputs. You'll find all inputs centered at the back of each monitor model. Your input method will be automatically selected. Before we start, some features are not available on all monitors. If you want to know what features your specific monitor model has, refer to the manual, which you can find in the description below. Now, let's start with some of the OSD shortcuts, without opening the main OSD menu. You can manually set an input by using the E button, or by pushing the joystick to the left, without the OSD active. The monitor will automatically select inputs if your current one is unavailable. There is also a shortcut for selecting scene modes, by pressing the up arrow when no other menu is visible. You can keep pressing this button to cycle between the different modes. If you got a monitor with a joystick, push the joystick up instead. The last shortcut is to set different crosshairs in the middle of the monitor. Cycle between these by pressing the down key or by pushing the joystick down. We will now take a look at the main OSD menu. Wake it by pressing the M button on the monitor or by pushing the joystick to the right. The first menu you'll see is once again the input source menu. No news here. The brightness and contrast menu is quite self-explanatory, but there's one feature here that I'd like to talk about. DCR, which stands for Dynamic Contrast Ratio. This will automatically adjust the backlight brightness depending on the content on the screen. Dark content will be darker to minimize backlight bleed. Bright content will be brighter. In the color settings, you can change the appearance of your display. There's a few presets available under picture mode. Note that these only affect the brightness, colors and contrast, not the performance of the monitor. I suggest not changing too much else here, unless you aren't satisfied with the picture currently produced. In picture quality settings, you'll find some features that can improve your viewing experience. Sharpness will decrease blurs, making text and such easier to read. The response time setting, also called overdrive, adjusts how the monitor handles imperfections in picture response times. We have calibrated this in the factory, but you can change it yourself here if you want to. This doesn't make your monitor faster or reduce input lag, but it can improve the perceived pixel response times. Noise reduction reduces visual noise and grain and smooths the overall picture. This can sometimes be visible when watching a movie filmed with a camera, which can sometimes be a bit grainy. Super resolution is used to upscale low-resolution content to better match the resolution of the monitor. For example, upscaling 1080p to 1440p. This is perfect for consoles like the original Nintendo Switch, since it cannot produce a picture of more than 1080p. Dynamic luminance control will make dark areas darker and bright areas brighter for a better perceived image. Under display, you can change the aspect ratio of the monitor if your content appears stretched. Note that this will introduce black bars on the side of the display to compensate for the new aspect ratio. Audio includes the simple stuff such as mute and volume control. On some models, you can also set an audio input here for when you're using multi-window mode. You cannot set a separate audio input when not using multi-window mode. As I just went over, some monitors include the multi-window feature. With this feature, you can connect multiple inputs and use them simultaneously. This is especially useful for when you want to watch a live stream on your PC while gaming on a console, for example. You can set a different layout for this here. Picture-in-Picture will give you a window in the corner of the display, and you can change the position using the Picture-in-Picture position menu item. You can also change the size of the window here. Then there's Picture-by-Picture, which divides the monitor into 2 halves. You can manually select which input to use together with your standard input, as well as swap these with each other when needed. The OSD settings include language settings, as well as changing the horizontal and vertical position of the OSD menu itself. You can set the transparency if you want to be able to see through the OSD menu while using it. You can change how long the OSD menu stays on the screen when you aren't using it, and you can rotate it, perfect when using the entire monitor in portrait mode. At the bottom of the list, you'll find other miscellaneous features. Let's go over them one by one. Adaptive Sync will adapt the refresh rate of the monitor to your graphics card's output. This will reduce tearing artifacts when gaming at a refresh rate other than what the monitor will otherwise display. HDR will increase the difference between the brightest and darkest parts of the image. Note that you need this feature to be turned on in your PC's operating system as well, for this feature to work properly. MPRT stands for Moving Picture Response Time. This feature will reduce the motion blur that may be visible during fast-paced movement on the screen by strobing the backlight quickly. Note that you won't be able to use Adaptive Sync, and you cannot achieve full brightness when the MPRT mode is on. Flicker Free is a feature that removes the flickering that may come from the backlight LEDs. This may help your eyes stay focused longer, and may even make you less tired when sitting at a monitor for longer periods. The firmware update menu item is something you don't need to worry about, as this is only used during service of the monitor by us at Arozzi. Light effect refers to the RGB ring at the back of the monitor. These look a bit different on different monitors. The 49-inch, for example, rotates the colors around the ring, while the others are fading colors from one to another. This light can be either on or off. You cannot set a specific color for this. And lastly, we got the reset function, which will revert all settings made in the OSD to original factory settings. I will now go over some of the specific features that the 49-inch model has, such as the KVM switch. This lets you connect your keyboard and mouse to the USB ports and use them with the current input source selected. For this to work, you also need to set the KVM features to auto-detect in the other settings. This means that you can use them with a laptop connected with USB-C, and then quickly switch source to your gaming PC connected with either HDMI or DisplayPort and the USB-B port, while keeping your keyboard and mouse connected. The 49-inch model also includes a USB hub if you don't use the KVM feature, which means you can use the USB-A ports on the back of the monitor for any USB peripherals you might have. Make sure the computer you're using is connected via either USB-C or DisplayPort or HDMI with a USB-B cable also connected. When using the USB-C connection for a battery-powered device, such as a laptop, you can also charge it with up to 65 watts of power, meaning that you can use your laptop and monitor with just a single cable, making it easy to switch from your desk to being on the go. Lastly, there's a special feature that all of our monitors include. They support DDC. This means that they can use apps to control the monitor from your computer. Some examples are Better Display for macOS, which can control features like display brightness and audio volume through the monitor's internal speakers, and Twinkle Tray for Windows, which can control the brightness. There are other apps as well. Although we don't endorse the ones mentioned, they do work great for free at the time of making this video. Alright, that's all I wanted to talk about. If you got any further questions, don't hesitate to contact us. You can also find more feature videos and assembly guides here on our YouTube channel. Now enjoy your new monitor.